Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to my video. This is going to be a movement guide, and wow, really? You just had to ruin the video. Dang. Anyway, as I was saying, welcome back to the video. We're going to be going over some movements, engagements, and disengagements. We're going to talk about some of the form of CCs, and we're going to talk about some of the combos, and wow, really messed up my intro. Hi. So let's get started with the video, shall we? Starting off with pre-awakening, we have ghost step, shadow slash, concealment, ghost greeting, shadow stomp, tendon cutter, owning shadow, shinuka, and heart snatch. And for awakening, we have our Luna Dash, Dance Macabre, and Half Moon Slash. So we don't have a lot of movement in awakening, so most of our movement are going to be in pre-awakening. So starting off with Ghost Step. Ghost Step is your basic left, right, back, and forward. So you can do that. That's the most important skill, moving around and getting to places. You can do that forward and everything. So it is a iframe and super armor. That is important to know. Now your shadow slash is your lateral movement. So notice that if you do shadow slash left, it does the whole animation. Shadow slash right, it doesn't do the whole animation. So you always want to use left as the form of movement and right to kind of cancel the skill, because you got to understand that shadow slash is unprotected. Now concealment, in order to do concealment, you got a smoke screen. So smoke screen is a super armor. So concealment, it is unprotected, so make sure that when you use concealment that your opponent doesn't hit you. So make sure it is unprotected, so make sure you just don't get hit with it. Ghost greeting is also unprotected, so make sure when you use it, you can still get CC, so just always be aware of that. Shadow stomp is your frontal guard. You can counter that with a kunai throw, floor sweeping, and your smoke screen. So for example, with kunai throw, which is the fastest way to do it, it looks like that. And then for floor sweeping, it looks like that. So you can see there's a little delay. And then for smoke screen, it looks like that. Smoke screen is, if you're in a sticky situation, you want to have that super armor and then have the frontal guard, you can chain it. So that's a good thing to know. Tendon cutter is a super armor. You can still get hit, you can still get damaged while you're in tendon cutter. I've noticed this. So for example, if a witch uses her pulse and you use tendon cutter around it, you still get hit, which is unfortunate, because there's like that brief window, that brief second that you are visible, you can still get hit. Oni shadow is unprotected. This is your bomb skill, so it works just like concealment, so just make sure that you don't get hit. Shinuka is also unprotected. Unfortunately, I don't have that spec right now, so just know that it is unprotected as well. And heart snatch looks something like that. That is actually an iframe. So you can use that as a form of movement. And yeah, so awakening, starting off with awakening, now you have Luna Dash. Luna Dash is also unprotected, but it does give you a DP buff. So if you do so happen to get CC'd and put to the ground, you still have that DP buff to kind of help you stay alive a little longer. But it's not going to protect you at all times, but just know that that is unprotected. So you always want to do, like, for example, a Luna Dash boom, something like that. There goes your movement. And then boom, get behind them, grab them, proceed with your combo. Cool. Next skill is Dance Macabre, which is a iframe and super armor. It looks something like that. So when you turn invisible, it is an iframe, and when you come out of invisibility, you are in a super armor. So that's actually pretty cool. It could be used as a form of movement. Half Moon Slash looks something like that. That is a super armor, so you can use that to change, your skills, change your super armor, stuff like that. It's actually really cool. So those are all the skills that you can use to chain your movement. Alright, so let's talk about the many ways you can engage and disengage from an opponent. So there are a variety of ways you can engage and get to your opponent. Kunoichi has far too many ways you can engage, and it's all going to be up to your kind of play style. And I'm hoping that a lot of people have different kinds of play styles when it comes to Kunoichi. I can play, Kunoichi a completely different way than someone else can. And so, alright, so let's get started here. Tendon cutter is a good way you can engage. You can use tendon cutter, and then you grab them, and boom, you've initiated your engage combo. Also, if you are far away from your opponent and you want to get to them, you can use smoke screen, concealment, ghost step, ghost greeting, and grab. So you want to use all your boom. That's your combo. You can also add in a block jump. Let's say you're engaging, you engage, you go that way, you go this way, boom. You kind of spice it up a little bit just to make it so that your opponent is not expecting what you're gonna do. Because let's say something for one. You don't want to engage in a straight line. Do not do that. You make yourself so predictable. But if you're quick, now we're not on PC, so we can't be like super quick. There is like, it's not super quick, but if you can, you can. There are times where you can like just engage in a straight line. You can do that. But you're not going to be able to do that every single time, especially against a skilled player. They're not going to let you just walk up to them and grab them. Grabbing in this game, especially if you're a Kunoichi, you got to have at least bare minimum 350 accuracy. Because there are going to be times where you're going to miss your grab, and that's the worst case scenario. You don't want to be in that situation where you miss the grab. So yeah, and then block jump, obviously a lot of people will be fighting against ninjas and kunos, and they wouldn't know what that animation looks like every single time. Because when they see that animation, they're going to expect a grab. So don't always use your block jump as a way to grab your opponent. You're just going to pigeonhole yourself in a very bad habit where you just put yourself in a situation where you can only grab through block jumping. So always practice other ways to engage. Block jump is cool, but it also could work against you. Like your best move can work against you. So just be wary of that. Like for example, lethal spin spree, the coolest looking skill, and it's a super armor, but that could be like your worst downfall because you love using the skill so much that people are going to read you so easy. So just make sure that you spice up how you engage your opponent. You can also use Dance Macabre like that. So you can do Luna Dash into a Dance Macabre, which is a pretty good way to engage as well. And then you can add in a Delighted Blast, so it looks something like that. So always also be sure that Delighted Blast is a unprotected skill, so you always want to add in a half moon slash Not always, but you're gonna want to add in a half-moon slash just for the super armor, so that you can be sure that you don't get CC'd while you're casting Delighted Blast. And then you CC with the lethal spin spree, and then, you know, Heart Snatch. Now you don't always have to use Flow Wraith or Wrath, which is, I mean, it's a pretty good skill, but you don't always want to use that skill. You want to go straight into a Heart Snatch, or you can just do both if they survive. We're going to talk about the ways you can disengage as well. Engaging and disengaging is pretty much the same exact thing. So there's always going to be that one skill that's going to be off cooldown that you can use as a way to disengage. Like for example, block jump can be a way to disengage. You press back, there's a brief little your leap back. Basically, it's not that far. It's the same distance as, well, not that much, but it's a small distance, but it gives you breathing room to look around, see where you want to go, and then you proceed with your combo. I missed the concealment there, but that's how you can disengage. You can also disengage with Tendon Cutter. You can disengage with Lunar Dash. Be sure that, you know, remember, Lunar Dash is unprotected, so be wary of that. You can disengage with Oni Shadow. Engaging and disengaging is the same exact thing. It just all depends on the situation. So I can do that, grab him. If I do so happen to grab him, boom, I'm away from the fight, and I reset. But you don't want to be in a situation where you want to reset the fight, but that's just a way you can disengage and reset yourself for the next portion of the fight. So yeah, so those are the ways you can disengage or engage. Now, I have not gone over all of the ways you can, you know, do these things, but that's just a very basic way of you know, engaging and disengaging from your opponent. Also, just to reiterate, block jumping could be used against you, but it can also be, you know, it can also surprise your opponent as well. So just be sure that, you know, when you're fighting against a skilled player and you using block jump a lot to grab someone, they're going to read that. So just make sure when you're engaging your opponent, you're mixing up the ways that you are engaging. Second, do not engage in a straight line all the time. It's not always going to work. If you're fighting against a skilled player, they're going to read that. They're going to expect a grab, and they're going to backpedal you, and then probably CC you if you're not safe. Always engage in a confusing pattern. Make it like super confusing. Like you can do that, boom, 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 boom. Like you don't have to do all of that. I mean, you're pretty much using all your cooldown there, but just be confusing. Always confuse your opponent. And so yeah, that's gonna be the ways you can engage and disengage. Alright, so let's talk about this combo guide here. Now, I didn't want to end this video without not at least showing you a combo, and I want to make a separate video on the combo guide. And so let me get you understanding what I'm thinking right now. So previously I used to play a Tamer and I used to play a Lan, and the Lan was the first class that I really effectively knew how to play, and I had been playing the game for a long time. So when I made the video, I had a expert understanding of the class, and I was confident in making that video. So also, the combo guide that I made for the Lan was only 9 minutes long, so I was able to put in like tips and tricks and all this other stuff all in one video, because the Lan only has 2 to 3 max combos, because they do the same thing over and over and over. Whereas the Kunoichi, it's a whole different ball game. you have like at least 9 combos that you can do to your opponent, and I haven't had enough time to practice all the combos yet, and so I'm gonna have to keep practicing all the combos so that when I make the video, I'm showing you without messing up. And I don't want to mess up. I don't want to, keep cutting the video just so that, I show you the parts where I'm not messing up. So on top of that, I'm only 522 gear score, and a lot of the Kunoichis in the Kunoichi Discord are like way higher gear score than I am. I'm like really slacking right now, and it's kind of hurting me, and I don't want to be like behind on that. I don't want to be a low gear score Kunoichi YouTuber who's producing content for Kunoichi, and I'm like a low gear score. This doesn't make any sense. I feel kind of bad, but at the same time, I'm happy that I'm helping you guys understand the class, because I'm understanding the class at the same time you guys are. As I'm doing these videos, I'm researching and learning the skills, and I'm reading all this information about Kunoichi and what each skill does, and her movement, and it's just a lot to take in. So yeah, so I'm really focused on trying to get my gear score up. And yeah, so alright, so say for instance I want to engage. I'm gonna engage with a block jump. Boom, bam. I messed up there. I messed the combo up there. So we're gonna do that again. It's not the best combo right now. I'm not adding everything in the combo. I already know I am. I should be, when I do that, all those skills, I should be adding in a shadow stomp in there, and then proceeding with the awakening skills. So I've been doing something like this, and then I go into a heart snatch. Alright, so let's go over another combo. Now, I have not been able to practice much, but I definitely do want to show you what it looks like. So I'm pretty sure you've seen it. So it looks something like that. Now it was very hard to pull that off because the dummy didn't do what I wanted it to do. So I have to practice this combo on an actual person. So that's what it would look like, and it's very hard to pull off because for example, the Kunoichi, the kunai throw into cancel into a stomp, and then go back into a pre-awakening. Now, in order to go back into a pre-awakening, you gotta have the Y swap. Essentially, you don't want to do Luna Dash. You want to do the Y swap. So it's a lot of work on the hands. So just know that Kunoichi requires a lot of actions per minute, and it could put a strain on your hand. So going into this class, you gotta understand that as well. Make sure you guys do hand exercise after like a while. This is like, I feel like this class is carpal tunnel inducing. Like, you could get carpal tunnel playing this class. But I love the class so much because like spinning the winning is just so cool. So anyway, that was that combo as well. Obviously you have that one, when you're in invisibility. So those are the combos that I've been doing. Now, like I said, I'm not really going into detail with it because I want to make a full guide. So just slow the video down, and you can see the skills that are popping up on my cooldown list here on the side. So yeah, I hope this video helped you guys out. The combo guide is coming, guys. I am trying to get my gear score up because that's like super important to me right now. And getting your gear score up a little bit it requires a lot of time. I finally got my Tri Dandy, so I need to tet that dandy, immediately, like very soon. I gotta focus on that. And yeah, so if you guys like the video, please do slap a like on it, subscribe to the channel. You know, we're growing. I appreciate every single one of you that have subscribed to my channel. It means a lot to me because, you know, as I'm playing this, as I'm doing these videos, I'm also learning with you guys. I'm not saying that I'm the best Kunoichi out there. I'm a very low gear score Kunoichi. I'm 522 gear score Kunoichi, and I hope to be like one of the top Kunoichis out there on the server right now. I want to be the best, but like at the same time, I'm not like aiming to be the best, because I'm just, at the same time, I'm just trying to enjoy the game, and at the same time, I want to help other people enjoy the class that they play. So yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy, and you guys have a good day.